You are welcome to the Messiah channel. We are an end time channel. Today, our message is about what happened in Poland, false flag in Poland. And the question we're asking is World War III postponed? What happened in Poland? Around November 16, 2022, there was a report that a missile from Russia struck a village in Poland. And as a result of that missile attack, 2 people were killed. And all of a sudden, the news broke that NATO was going to invoke Article 5 of the Charter, the NATO Charter. As you are aware, based on Article 5, an attack on a NATO member will be construed as an attack on the 30-nation NATO community. And people were wondering whether the attack from Russia on a village in Poland would trigger Article 5 and will result in direct conflict between Russia and NATO. It came out that the missile that supposedly struck inside Poland did not come from Russia, but it came from Ukraine. And this I will consider as a false flag. That's why I'm saying false flag in Poland. Recently, I did a video about false flags that could form the basis, will be the justification for starting a war, potentially a nuclear war between United States and NATO. The false flag first involved the striking of the Nord Stream gas pipeline, and the second false flag was an attempt to trigger a nuclear bomb, a dirty bomb in Ukraine, and there was a blame game going on. Russia warned the United Nations that Ukraine was preparing to detonate a nuclear bomb in Ukraine and blame it on Russia. And Ukraine was also saying that Russia was rather trying to use tactical nuclear weapons in Ukraine. And so the false flag events were prepared both by Ukraine and also by Russia. And those false flags did not work. And so, lo and behold, around November the 16th, 2022, another false flag was staged here. It was a missile striking inside Poland, a member of NATO, and Ukraine was very quick to blame Russia for that, thinking that that would trigger Article 5 of NATO treaty, and NATO will confront Russia and attack Russia for that. And the timing of the false flag with Poland is very interesting. First of all, the false flag event was orchestrated to coincide with the timing of the meeting of G20 in Indonesia, where President Biden was in attendance and other G7 nations were in attendance, including leaders of NATO. And the timing of the false flag, the missile attack in Poland, also coincided with the US midterm elections that happened in November the 8th, 2022. It was not long after that midterm election that the false flag was staged by Ukraine in Poland. The false flag event also coincided with a time when Ukraine appeared to be gaining grounds in repelling Russian attacks, Russian occupation, Russian incursions in Ukraine, particularly with regard to the territory Kherson that was initially captured by Russia, but was reportedly retaken by Ukraine. And so Article 5 was not invoked because President Biden said that it was unlikely that the missile that struck Poland came from Russia. So does it mean that World War III has been postponed? And lo and behold, if there was a conclusion that the missile that struck Poland came from Russia, it's likely that NATO could have invoked Article 5, and that would have resulted in a direct conflict between Russia and NATO, and that would mean a potential World War III, and any world war now is likely to be a nuclear war. And at the time of making this video, we have to look at what the implications would be. Starting from Russia's side, Russia has already prepared the weapons of apocalypse. I will mention only two said weapons: the RS-28 Sarmat. The Western military experts call this weapon Satan II missile. It is an ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles, and experts agree that that missile can destroy a territory as large as the state of Texas. It can destroy a nation as large as France or as large as United Kingdom. And not only that, Russia also has a nuclear weapon, a nuclear drone, the submarine, the Poseidon UMV, unmanned vehicle. It is not controlled. It is not manned by a person. It is a drone that can hide in the seas for 120 days and reportedly can create a nuclear tsunami as tall as 1,600 feet and can destroy entire coastal cities, including the coastal cities of the United States, and reportedly can even drown the nation United Kingdom. And so what does it mean? The first flag that was staged in Poland didn't work because Ukraine felt or thought that that would have resulted in the invocation of Article 5 of NATO, and NATO would have come to the aid of Ukraine. We are living in a world where false flag events can be used as a reason for attacking, and Ukraine has already been used as a false flag theater for nations, including Russia and the Western powers, to test their weapons of war. The weapons that will be used in World War III are being tested, and both Russia and NATO powers have used that occasion to assemble their weapons of apocalypse. I'm talking about United States. They deployed USS Gerald Ford, and it is the most expensive U.S. aircraft, It was commissioned by President Trump. It was deployed recently, the first time such aircraft carrier has been deployed, and Russia also deployed deadly arsenals and tested some of them, all as a way of preparing for World War III. And NATO had nuclear drills preparing for World War III, and Russia also had nuclear drills preparing for World War III. At the time of making this video, the strategic forces of the United States and the strategic forces of Russia are both on high alert, and they are preparing for potential war. And there's a looming war also between USA and China that made the commander of US strategic forces make a comment that the bigger war is coming. The United States is preparing for a bigger war, a war that involves China, that will involve dispute over Taiwan, that will involve the destoolment of the United States from global economic hegemony. And the question we are asking is World War III postponed? We are coming close to the end of 2022. We are going to enter 2023, and I believe that another false flag will be staged until the time comes for the hawks in both Russia and the United States to put their finger on the trigger. We are in the end times, and when you see false flags being staged, you remember we are close to the end of this world. If God had not intervened around November 16, 2022, a false flag event in Poland, staged by Ukraine, staged by Zelensky, who have resulted in the invocation of Article 5 of NATO Treaty, and that will have pitched Poland and NATO, US and NATO against Russia and against Russia and the allies, and there will have been a nuclear Armageddon, and that is part of the strategy to cause a mass depopulation of the world in line with the agenda of the globalists and the new leaders who are planning to reset the world, to bring in the kingdom of the Antichrist, the man of sin, the son of perdition, the son of perdition. And so, false flag in Poland has World War III been postponed? And when would there be another false flag? Prepare as we enter the end, the last hour of the end of this. Thank you for listening to this message.